Welcome, everybody. Dr. Adam here, and today you're watching your Module 2 review. Just to remind you all, so these review videos are going to come after every single module with the module that is coming after it. So Module 2 review comes with Module 3 email, and these reviews, just to remind you, are basically to help you study for the final exam. I'm going to give you kind of tips on what you should know out of the required materials that are labeled within the course. Those are the fair game materials, everything that's labeled as required. And in this email that's highlighted in bold, you'll see required lecture, required instructional video, required handout. Those are the things you're going to be tested on. So what I'm going to do in this video, just like I did in Module 1, is we're going to cover what you should be thinking about studying for that exam. And you should use these videos when you get ready to get near the end of the course, when we start providing you the ability to take the exam in October. This is what you should be reviewing, are these videos. These videos are also meant to keep you up to date on what's in the course and what's going on. So I'll always do some house cleaning items. I'll talk about things that maybe have changed in the course or new things that we're adding to the course. So these are videos that you should be watching with every single module that comes out to keep up to date on what's happening in the course. This is how we update you on those things. All right, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time doing a whole lot of house cleaning items before I get into the questions. But I do want to just remind you about a few things and talk about a couple things. So the conference, the Heroes Hive's first national conference, you are all welcome to come to. That is in Minnesota, at the University of Minnesota's Minnesota Landscape Arboretum, June 27th and 28th. If you do need support to get to that particular conference in the form of conference registration, we have had about 25 scholarships that have been donated for free tickets to the conference. So if you are an individual that likely needs a little support to get to the conference, we can provide that support to you. Just email me directly and I can give you the coupon code to get free registration for the conference. Please keep in mind that the conference registration ends at the end of this month. So if you do plan on going, you need to make your reservations as soon as possible because we will not extend this registration process. We've got to have final head counts by the end of this month for food and event planning and all of that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind. So if you do want to come, we'd love to have you there. The other thing I want to mention is the office hour recordings. So thank you everybody who submitted questions for office hours and who attended office hours last month. Those recordings are coming in so last month's office hours are coming with this month's module. So if you did submit a question or you want to see what other people were asking, that is available here in this email. The other thing to keep in mind is I just want to remind everybody about kind of why we do office hours. So you should not be sending me personal questions about beekeeping. I've been getting several emails, very long emails, very detailed emails with lots of pictures from folks about specific things that are happening in their apiary. So I want to just kind of go back to this again. I live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I cannot tell you what's happening in your landscape and the management things that are going on in your landscape when I don't live in the state that you live in. All beekeeping is regional and local. And so this is why you need to have connections to local bee clubs, to your state beekeeping organization, because those are the individuals that can likely give you the best answer. I can inform you in some respects, but again, all beekeeping is local, so make sure you're making those local connections. And if you do have a question related to beekeeping, those should not be emailed to me. Those should be sent to the for the office hours. And at the bottom of this form, at the bottom of this email, there is a link to submit your questions. That is why we have office hours, is for you to show up or to send a question ahead of time so that we can answer your personal beekeeping questions. But sending me a very detailed email, that's, we have over 11,000 alumni. There's over 4,000 students in this course right now. I just don't have the capacity to do that for every single one of you. And like I said, you're likely going to get a better answer from somebody that's local. It also, keep in mind your state extension offices that are run through your land grant institutions like Michigan State University, the University of Missouri, University of Minnesota. These are the places, those extension agents are the ones who really know a lot about your regionality and what's going on as far as management in your state at that time, floral blooms, things like that. Those are the experts in your state. So they're a good point of contact too. But if you do have questions, make sure that those are submitted for office hours. That's why we hold office hours, is to answer those questions. And again, there's a link at the bottom of this where you can send a question in via form. And also keep in mind, like emergencies, like if you lose a queen and all of a sudden you're panicking, like I'm not the one to call or to contact about that. Again, thousands and thousands of students. And in addition to this, I also run several other programs. So we've got lots of questions that are coming in, and I oftentimes get 100, 200 emails a day. It sometimes takes me a little while to get back to folks. And so if it's a critical situation that you need an answer to right now, sending me an email is likely not the best choice. You need to find somebody local that can support you. And again, your state beekeeping organization, your local bee clubs are the best places for that, or your extension office. Okay. We got a few new things that are coming up down the pipeline and available to you. So we have in the on-ground syllabus, I've updated the on-ground syllabus. There is a new Michigan partner that has come on, AWS Bees LLC. That is a commercial beekeeping operation here in the state of Michigan that's been operating for probably the better 40 or 50 years. Dave Anthony and Leo Stevens are the two individuals who own that business. Both of them are veterans. Dave's an Army veteran. Leo's an Air Force veteran. And I've known them both for a decade plus. Dave has kind of like semi-retired. His grandson has taken over the business. And so he's got some free time, we'll say, and he wants to give back to the community. To the veteran community. And so what he has offered is that if you are interested in coming and doing ride-alongs with Dave, and I mean literally going to work with him, he is offering that now to Heroes to Hive students. So you will see on the syllabus under Michigan, Dave's information is there. His telephone number is there. He has asked me to provide his telephone number to you all as students, and has asked me that if you want to come and ride along with him for a day, to give him a call to schedule that. Please don't text him. Dave's an old timer, and he doesn't do a whole lot of texting or emailing or anything like that, but he does answer phone calls every single day, all day long. And so if you are interested in doing a ride along with a commercial beekeeper to get some experience, Dave is a wealth of information and just a really great guy. So a really awesome opportunity for our students. And especially if you're thinking of getting into the commercial beekeeping industry, like Dave's the one you want to learn from. He has been a successful beekeeper for decades and has a very successful commercial beekeeping business where he does both pollination events, he does nuke sales, package sales, queen sales. He pretty much does it all. So great resource there if you want to get some experience with him. He is in Schwartz Creek, which is just outside of Flint here in Michigan. And if you are, out of state, but local-ish, I'm sure he'd be willing to have you come on board for, a ride along as well if you're willing to make the trip. In addition to that, we are going to be hosting our first summer picnic at Dave's place this year. The summer picnic is going to happen on July 27th. We don't have all the details finalized just yet, but it's going to be likely a half day or full day workshop at Dave's facility. You'll have the opportunity to do we're going to set up educational stations, so you'll be able to rotate between stations to learn something. You'll be able to get a tour of his full commercial extraction facility, and we'll be hosting it'll be a catered event, so we'll have food for you. It's going to be a great event. It's on a Saturday in July, and so if you want to come for that, great. If you're here in Michigan, fantastic. If you want to travel for that, also awesome as well. But that is going to be more information is going to be coming about that probably next month. I would imagine we'll have all the details ironed out on that. We're in the middle of conference planning, so things are kind of hectic right now. So we'll get all the details on that, but we have solidified that is going to happen on that date. In addition, I wanted to mention workshops. So, always refer to the on-ground syllabus for any workshop opportunities that come up. I'll keep you up to date on those as we do these updated videos, but you should always be kind of referring back to those syllabi, especially the on-ground one, because that may change as new things happen and new opportunities present themselves over the course of the year. I did want to mention for all of those of you who are in states that we don't have workshops or are in states that we do have workshops and you want to travel to get some education, Bee-Wise Farms, my farm up here in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, we host workshops once a month, all summer long, starting this month in May, and anybody from any state is welcome to come and join us for those workshops. The thing about our workshops, we host our workshops in the morning, and then I host the Great Plains Master Beekeeping Workshops, a program that I also teach for and is a partner of Heroes to Hive. So we host the Heroes to Hives workshop in the morning and the GPMB workshop in the afternoon. And so if you come to my farm, you can stay for both of them. And so you basically get a full, well, a little more than a half day's worth of workshops in a single shot. So if you want to travel to the beautiful Upper Peninsula of Michigan, it's a good excuse to get up here and see this amazing place and get some beekeeping experience. We're very close to Mackinac Island, to Pictured Rocks. We're about a half hour from Tequamanon Falls, so there's a lot to see in our area if you want to make the trip, and we would love to have you. All right, so that's it for workshop updates and kind of all the updates in general. So let's get to the test questions and what you should be thinking about studying for this. So the last module was focused on biology, feeding, and safety. And so that's what we're going to be covering in these questions for this section. So things that you need to know and things that you need to be really familiar with to be ready for the test. You need to know the life cycles of all of the casts that are in our hive. So by life cycles, I mean the number of days in the egg stage, the number of days in the larval stage, the number of days till they hatch. Those are things that are really important to understand. The other thing you need to understand is who lays eggs in the colony. So queens, laying workers, which ones are fertilized, which ones are unfertilized. You need to know that. What do we call males? So what are the different names that we call the different casts? How many bees do you expect to be in a beehive? Kind of a healthy functioning beehive. What do you call things in the hive? So like, what do we have bee bread, we have honey, we have brood, what are all of these elements of a beehive? You need to know how many days worker bees generally live during the summer, and that is something that is outside of the life cycle. So you have the life cycle, which is the length of time it takes to go from an egg to an adult, and then you have the full life, which is how many days after they come out as an adult will they survive. You need to know a little bit about what is maintaining the balance within the colony. So things like pheromones, hormones. What do these things do in the colony when it relates to the queen and how things are functioning? So know a little bit about those things. We need to know what we call a situation when we're dealing with a worker that is laying worker situation. We need to know what that is, and we need to know what are the implications of that if we don't do anything about it. We need to know kind of your, I'd say, kind of the ethics of being a beekeeper. So we want to understand kind of what are the things that you should be thinking about as far as your apiary, locating it, being a good neighbor, things like that. You also want to know a little bit about bee stings and how to deal with those types of things. If that does occur, which it's always going to occur, you're a beekeeper, you're going to get stung. That's just part of the job. And then we also want to know what we feed our bees. So what we feed our bees, when we feed our bees, why we feed our bees, those are all very important things to know. If you know all of those things, you're going to be in good shape for the final exam. And as a reminder, the final exam, and you can find all of this information on the syllabus for the online course. The final exam is offered to you October through December. So it'll be available in your modules, the module that come in October and November. You'll have links directly to that at final exam, or you can take that exam. And again, this is what you should be studying. I hope you have a good module 3. You've got a lot of information in this. So I remember I told you kind of spoon feed you in the beginning. You're in the height of the course now. So this is really where things start to really get busy. So this particular module in particular is very in-depth. You're going to be dealing with a lot of long lectures that are focused on pests and pathogens, managing varroa, handling hives, record keeping. You've got a few lectures or a few instructional videos on how to actually do inspections, how to do mite management as far as monitoring and managing. So lots of stuff in this particular module. You will see it is very detailed. And the last thing I'll mention today is in module 3, you'll notice at the end of the module, there is a link to a diagnostic tool for honeybee diseases. This is a new diagnostic tool that was developed by Michigan State University for veterinarians specifically, but it is a good tool to be able to understand the diagnostic characteristics of many of diseases of bees, basically. And so this is a little more of an advanced tool. So, if you're in your third or fourth year of beekeeping, this might be something that is a little more easier to kind of manage. It is not a required material. It's just added there as a resource. But those of you who are first year beekeepers or have never kept bees, or or maybe only kept bees for 1 year, this is likely going to be a little too advanced for you. But I would definitely encourage you to check it out. But once you kind of get through the pests and pathogens lectures, then I would probably take a look at that if you're a little new to all of this. Other than that, you should be all set for the exam, and we'll look forward to having you see me again here for a review video in Module 4 covering Module 3's review. Thank you. Have a great day.